On this basis, we have no choice but to partner and consolidate our program and project interventions on development. This will be achieved through creation of a complementary ecosystem as opposed to fractured and segmented approaches to development. Indeed, Goal 16 of Agenda 2030 underscores the importance of strong and effective institutions in building peaceful and inclusive societies. Such regular consultations are not only for receiving feedback, but also understanding our individual strengths and strategizing together. Our destiny is defined. We cannot afford disjointed strategies. On this note, I want to acknowledge the importance of CCIOs in data collection and reports under various thematic areas. It will be more impactful when you align your strategic plans and priorities to the better plan. While we assure you of autonomy in your work, we encourage truth premised on objectivity and sanctity of data as opposed to alarmist subjective reports. This will help us make the necessary adjustments. Again, as directed by the Executive Order number 2, we are ready to work with you in implementation of recommendations of your reports. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are aware that one of the key issues that impairs optimal performance of CCIOs is limited funding. Past allocation in some cases have only met the basic operational needs of CCIOs as opposed to substantive projects and programs. When staff draw salaries without work, it is a short change to the taxpayer. There is no value on investment. In the current financial year, we have increased allocation of the CIOs as opposed to the previous financial year. Because we want to promote financial independence, we'll continue working with the legislature to ensure more funds to enable you implement programs complementing our development plan. This is alongside review of laws and other frameworks to strengthen your mandates. Progressive increment of funding is possible given that our economy has stabilized and is now on an upward trajectory. My office is ready to work with you as outlined by the Executive Order number 2 of 2023 and other frameworks that direct us to collaborate for efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, as we meet here today, terms of office for a number of commissioners in some CCIOs are ending soon. Such leadership gaps, if not addressed, will hamper discharge of the mandates of the CCIOs. While the law provides for the procedures of appointment of commissioners and other senior officers, we are ready to work with you in unlocking any possible delays to expedite the process through the requisite state agencies. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to confirm and affirm the Executive's commitment to close working relations with constitutional commissions and independent offices. It is a requirement that we commit to fulfill. Let me thank you for your availability for this meeting. We value your feedback and look forward to an enriching conversation. It is now my pleasure to declare this consultative forum officially open. If I may just add 3 things. We'll be speaking more in the informal forum by the bonfire. The President in Executive Order number 2 established this coordination framework within my office, first and foremost, to give it the right gravitas because the presidency cuts across the whole government. And the purpose for this framework is to make sure that we work in a seamless manner. This framework, I want to request you to utilize it to settle disputes, conflicts, misunderstandings among ourselves. My office has tried to settle 3-4 conflicts, and I want to urge that it is not necessary for us to engage each other in the press in the media. It's unnecessary because there exists a framework in the Office of the Deputy President for us to understand each other and engage. Our administration has adopted continuous engagement as the modus operandi of our governance. And the President and I believe that continuous engagement is good for any institution and is good for this country. When we found instances where independent offices and constitutional commissions are in conflict and they start an all-out war in the press, we confuse the people of Kenya and they get lost. Let us use this framework. Where there are issues, please let our office know so that we call you and we listen and we try to create a framework for engagement. We have had some nasty exchanges between the Office of the Attorney General and the Public Service Commission. It is unnecessary. Within this framework, whatever issues that are creating a misunderstanding between any office and another, we can settle. We have had issues between the Teacher Service Commission and the Ministry of Education. My office has put the two together and discussions are ongoing and we have made very good progress so that we avoid confusing the people of Kenya, where people who are supposed to work together to collectively deliver services, deliver justice, deliver leadership to the people of Kenya, we are fighting each other. We have had nasty exchanges that are necessary between the Inspector General of Police and the Police Service Commission. Over the press, we have put the two offices together, the Constitutional Commission, that is a Police Service Commission, and the Inspector General of Police, and already discussions are going on and we have made very good progress. We have had exchanges between the Controller of Budget and the Council of Governors. It is unnecessary. Within this framework that the President in his wisdom put together at the presidency, where the Council of Governors feels that probably the service delivery to the people who put them in office is being affected because of certain decisions the Controller of Budget has made. Instead of an all-out war there, please let us utilize this framework. And the Controller of Budget and the Council of Governors, we put them together and we can have a discussion. There has been issues between the National Treasury and the Controller of Budget. I want to appeal that this mechanism is available to all of us to be able to have a good discussion. We have had issues between the Parliamentary Service Commission and the Judicial Service Commission, where Parliament feels that the judiciary is encroaching on the independence of Parliament. And in many cases, we have taken each other to court. And the folly of it all is that when one of government takes another arm of government to court, both lawyers are paid by the public. The same public that we serve. We are here talking about limited resources. We are here talking about a very tight fiscal space. We are here saying we don't have money for development. We don't have money to buy you vehicles. Yet, court, you pay lawyers. They engage lawyers. But the one paying both lawyers on both sides is the same person, the people of Kenya. And it's not fair. It's very unfair to the people of Kenya that we are having a challenge in terms of revenue collection to get enough money to give services to the people of Kenya, to pay salaries, to make sure that every institution is fulfilling its mandate. Then, because we have a difference that is really not personal, I want to urge from this retreat that we all agree that it is not necessary for one office to take another to court, and we hire lawyers to be paid by the public. I had a meeting with the KTDA and the Tea Board of Kenya, and some directors from KTDA took each other to court, and the lawyers are asking for 600 million, and this money will be paid by the tea farmers. Yet they were having leadership wrangles that have nothing to do with the tea farmer in Kenya. Yet, because they occupy public offices, it is those people who will pay. And I was telling the Attorney General, and it's something that we need to agree here and as a government, that many institutions have legal capacity. KTDA has lawyers that are paid at the end of every month, and they are competent lawyers. Yet, they go out there and get other lawyers from outside, and they commit public funds. So we'll be having a discussion that all those with legal capacity, they have no business going out there. I know that can put us in problems with the Law Society of Kenya, that we are denying them business. But what we are saying is, what is the use of you having a legal capacity? You have employed a corporation secretary with a legal department of 5-6 lawyers who are paid every month. And you employed them because they are competent. They are advocates of high court. They are competent to go in court and defend the institution. Then you commit millions of shillings belonging to the taxpayer to go out there in court. So I want to urge this forum, those session, I asked him to come.